Hey everybody, this is Steve. Just a quick update on Tuesday, January 12th to let you know, try to clear up a couple points of confusion, I think, in terms of how the course is going to work and stuff like that. So I just went through and I gave a speed grader, not comments, just acknowledgments of about the discussions and the blog posts that were supposed to be due by Monday, January 11th. So, because there seems to be a little bit of confusion with some of the due dates and stuff like that. So, when something says due Monday or due Wednesday, it means that by the end of the day on Monday or by the end of the day on Wednesday, you need to have started to have done whatever this might be. So, in this case, set up a WordPress blogs, introduce yourselves, stuff like that. You'll also notice that due Monday was the introduction of rhetoric and style discussion, which means that you were supposed to have begun that discussion by the end of the day on Monday, January 11th. Now, that discussion continues because that's how discussions work. You start and then you stop a little bit later on, and we'll wrap that up until Wednesday, about Wednesday or so. But here's the thing, it's really important for the discussion forums to begin on the due date, Mondays or Wednesdays typically, and then carry on, because if everybody were to wait until the discussion closed, say Wednesday, we wouldn't actually have a discussion because no one would be able to interact with each other. So it's really important for you to start posting on for those discussions when things are due. Again, usually Mondays and Wednesdays, and then we'll kind of like let it roll through the rest of the week. So, for example, this upcoming Wednesday, we're going to start talking about the YouTube and ancient style assignment, and we're going to start talking about the first part of Crowley and Haughey on style. I'll get to that in a second. But the point is, you need to start those discussions then so that we can actually keep having a conversation about it through Friday or so. Okay. Now, the blogs are a different animal. The blogs are due, like for example, the blog prompt 1 and blog prompt 2 were due yesterday, Monday. That means that you need to have started those by then. Blog prompt 3 is due Wednesday the 13th, and so forth. And all you have to do to complete those assignments is post to your WordPress blog site by that date in response to the prompt. Okay, I will look at your blog post, and as I just did with Canvas, I'll acknowledge that yes, you completed that post. There's no points associated with it. I just have a comment like good or something like that. The two things important about the blog posts are you want to write as well as you can, and you want to do it in a timely basis. And I guess there's a third point, which is that these aren't really blogs in the sense of you just write about whatever you want. I'm actually just very interested in your responses to the prompts that I give you on the website. Now you might be saying to yourself, what's the difference between the blog posts and the discussions? Well, this first one kind of overlaps a little bit because the first one asks you to respond a little bit to your first impressions about rhetoric, which is kind of like responding to the first discussion forum. But for the most part, the blog prompts are like little mini essays that you're going to write something about based on a prompt that I give you, whereas the discussion forums are conversations. In other words, you post something and then respond to somebody else, right? So in other words, part of the whole success in the discussion forum is actually the interchange and somebody posts something in a discussion forum and you respond, yes, I agree with that, that's a good idea, build off of that and that kind of thing. Whereas the blog prompts are a little bit more like mini essays, although there will be a point later in the semester in which you'll like read each other's blogs and respond to those. The other thing about the blogs is that again, make sure that you're responding to the prompts. If I saw some people were writing about some other things, which is fine, I don't have a problem with that, but make sure that it's clear for me as a reader and for other people as a reader, other students as a readers, that you're responding to the blog prompts too. I hope that clears some of that up. So the discussions, so again, the due dates, the discussions begin on the due dates. The blog posts are supposed to be posted on those due dates. And the due dates are important because even though you have all day on a Monday, January 11th, from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. to do it, so there's plenty of time to do it. But you have to keep up with that work because, as I said when the class started, this isn't the kind of online class where you can just kind of do it on your own whenever you want. Okay, that sort of timeliness of completing assignments and the interaction that we'll have with each other is really important. Okay. One last thing about the style reading, the Crowley and Haughey on style, part 1, part 2. it's unfortunately the first big reading we have to deal with because, and I say unfortunate because it is kind of dense. I mean, there's a lot there. So take your time with it. If you don't get it all, that's cool. Don't worry about it. I mean, not everybody understands every word of every page, so that's not a problem. But do make your best effort. Try to keep track of those different stylistic terms and things like that as best you can, and ask questions because that's what the discussion forum is about. Okay. All right. Now I got to go shovel snow because it's pretty nasty out there. All right. See you online.